welcome one, welcome all, even welcome you, Larry, who we don't really like, but just come on in anyway. Just yeah, all right, it's fine. Just come in, sit down, shut the fuck up because shit's about to get real. Welcome to another rib tickling, rib snorting, coke smacking, sounds dodgy episode of Stace and Barry in the Morning. I am your what's the good word for me? I'm your trunkless host, which sounds a little bit like succubus host, which is really dodgy. So I'll just say, hey, I'm Barry, and joining me on the sofa as always is the lovely, dashing Stace.
Hello, it's me. Rib snorting. Is that what? And then you said that you were trunculus, and I don't know what that means.
Look it up. Look it up. I don't even know if it's a real word, but it sounds like it is, and if it's not, then it should be.
It does sound like a real word, but it makes me think of an elephant's trunk, which makes me think that it means something like, I don't know, like long and hefty. Which is, I feel like we should move. It's too early in the morning for that kind of talk.
Oh yeah, well past that.
How are you doing, Barry?
I'm doing well. I'm indoors and I'm wearing a scarf, so shit's about to get real.
Are you sure that's doing well, or do you need to go and put the heating on?
No, it's because I've taken to wearing a scarf over. I know we're not really in lockdown anymore, but I took to wearing a scarf. Like I took a wife. It doesn't sound like that. I took to wearing a scarf, and I now I have a selection of scarves, and now I refer to them as I have a work scarf, I have an outdoor scarf, and what I'm wearing at the moment is I have an action scarf.
Okay. Oh, ready for anything.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's because my late father left. I was going to say, he didn't leave me a scarf in his will.
I just imagine, like everyone else, it's like, oh, Barry's brother, here's like £1 million. And then it's like, oh, other bits of Barry's family, here's a house. And then it's like, Barry, my scarf, I guess.
Yeah, here's a scarf. Do with it as you see fit.
Enjoy.
Yeah, son, I only have one gift for you. My scarf. Use it wisely. Bring goodness to all. I'm trying, Dad. So Dad's scarf has been retooled and repurposed and is now called Action Scarf.
Nice.
Which comes out in times of dire need or washing up.
Okay. You don't wash up with the scarf, right?
No, I don't wash up with the scarf.
Okay, good.
But I do have an Action Scarf.
Good.
Yeah. So what was the question? Am I okay? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
It's going to be one of those episodes, isn't it?
I've snorted too many ribs. This is what happens.
Well, should we just do a segment?
Yeah, trumpet me.
Hey, that sounded really good in here. I'm in a different room, everybody. I've set myself up with an office at home, and it's kind of echoey in here, but I quite like it.
Yeah.
It might not be good for podcasting. Might be a lot of effort for Barry to edit later. But
well, we'll see. But at the moment, I'm loving the acoustics.
Oh, good stuff. What segment were we doing? I did trumpets, but...
Do you want to start with Stacey's book corner so we make sure we get that in?
Oh, I'll go on then. Go on then. Well, here's the thing, right? I'm doing that thing again this year where I'm doing a charity bookworm challenge, and I've got a month to read as many books as I can. And I'm 2 weeks in, and I just started my 7th book, which isn't too fucking shabby.
That's not bad.
In it, though. But the book I actually want to talk about is called Uprooted. Have you ever read this? Heard of it?
No, not heard of it, not read it.
Okay. Well, it's by a lady called Naomi Novik, and it's a sort of high fantasy / historical sort of fairy tale type novel. It's a standalone, which is good because as much as I love a good like trilogy or whatever, I don't know about you, but I always find that trilogies are like, oh, each book is 1,000 pages. Have fun. And I'm like, I'm trying to read as many books as I can. This is hard. So this one was only like 460 pages, which is a much more manageable situation. Nice. But it's inspired by Polish folklore. Naomi Novik herself is American, but she's got like her the father side of her family are Lithuanian and Jewish, and the mother's side are Polish Catholics. So she's got like a lot of sort of historical / folklore / religious like stuff that sort of seeped into her brain over the years. And this is a book about a kingdom which is sort of loosely Polish, loosely based on Poland, in that they're past, that sort of borders a big scary wood where there's something in there that's like evil and shit. I'm probably not selling this very well, but like the wood is a lot scarier in the book than I am making it sound.
Okay, scary wood, got you.
Yeah, so like scary things come out of there, scary things try to lure children in there, people who go in don't ever come out. The wood itself sometimes just moves and like encroaches on their borders and stuff. And so the main story is about a girl who lives in a particular village where every 10 years a wizard who is trying to keep the wood at bay will come and take sort of a lady back to his castle. Everybody thinks it's for like gross purposes, as in like she becomes his sort of semi-wife kind of thing. But as it turns out, it's actually, there's a reason for it, but I don't want to spoil it in the books, but he's a lot less gross than everybody seems to think he is at the start of the book. Yeah, so this follows the story of one of the girls that gets taken into his tower. And that's about as much as I want to say about it, because saying too much more would give it away, but it's all about like war and evil and witches and wizards and dragons and big old scary monsters and stuff, and it's really good and I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
There you go. Stacey's book corner. She read a book.
And what was the name of the book again, for those in the cheap seats?
Uprooted. It's called Uprooted. There was another book that I read by her as well, which is called Spinning Silver, which I didn't like as much. It's like a weird twist on the Rumpelstiltskin story. But that one felt to me like it took too long to get going. So by the time I actually started caring, it was almost finished. And I was like, oh, whoops. But Uprooted I would definitely recommend. The only like sort of semi-negative thing I'd say about Uprooted is it's got you know how like a lot of movies have a sort of thing where it's like, oh, these two people have been through a thing together, so I guess they're gonna fuck, even though they've got like nothing in common and they don't even really like each other.
Yeah.
It's got one of them in it, and I'm like, oh, do we have to?
Yeah, it doesn't always have to have that, does it? It does wind me up a bit.
Yeah, especially when like, so the wizard that ends up having a sex with somebody, like basically treats everybody with somewhere between sheer disdain and like mild irritation. So he's never nice to like anyone. So I don't know why anybody would want to go to Bone Town with him. But anyway, other than that, it's really good, yeah.
As always, a scintillating dissection.
That's what I thought. Anyway, should we bust a groove onto a different segment so I can shut up about unnecessary banging?
Do it.
Let's do a pick of the fortnight and let's let Barry do some talking.
Okay, I'm going to do some talking. So, my pick of the fortnight was originally going to be Giant Days. I've said that just so I can slip in Giant Days, which is a fantastic comic.
It really is.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I feel like I'm doing two now, but yeah, which I finished. I finally finished reading all of the main volumes. I've just read the extra credit volume, which was equally fantastic. I've got the Batman Giant Days crossover to read, and I think there's a one which is called Early Registration, which I've got to read. And I've also read a couple of, because they're all written by John Allison.
Yeah.
But he's also done another series of comics called Bad Machinery.
Okay.
Which is set in a school, and is basically two groups of school detectives.
Nice. That sounds right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, and surprisingly, it was. I've read 2 volumes and loved them. Anyway, that wasn't what my pick of the fortnight was going to be. What my pick of the fortnight was going to be was, which would explain the question I asked you before we started recording, is I'm gonna say episode 1 of Rick and Morty.
Okay.
of season 5. Now I could be mistaken now, so I'm going to tell you to see, because you've watched it all and you know your Rick and Morty. So this is the one where Morty has a date with Summer. Is it Summer? The girl from school he always likes.
No, Summer's his sister. You threw me so much then. I was like, don't remember that at all.
Amber?
Jessica?
I'm just picking names out my ass.
Me too.
I think it's anyway. I think it's I think it's Jessica. Now looking. Jessica. It is Jessica, because I've just found the episode. Cool. And it is, this is episode 1, season 5. And this is the one where you meet Rick's nemesis, or one of them anyway, Mr. Nimbus.
Yeah.
Who's basically Namor, really. King of the Ocean and stuff. Anyway. Yeah, the episode itself, the whole stuff that's going on with the Mr. Nimbus stuff, I wasn't really that interested. It was all right, but I wasn't that interested. What I actually thought this was going to be a rubbish episode, and I was bracing myself for it. But for me, it was the so Rick, I'm trying not to spoil it, but it's the whole bit where Rick basically gives Morty some wine, and he said, you can go through this door to aged wine, and basically, but he said, but be careful, because when you go through the door, time doesn't works differently, and one day is like 10 years over there, or something like one minute is like 10 years there, or whatever. And I don't want to say any more because I don't want to spoil it, but man, there's a couple of scenes in that where I had to keep rewatching it. And there's 2 scenes, and it reminded me. So you remember Gravity Falls?
Yes.
Obviously you do. There's a bit in Gravity. Every show that I love, there's a bit where I sort of go, that's when I love that show. And for me in Gravity Falls, there's a bit with is it Dipper?
Yeah.
I just remember he's training or something, and he's running through the wild, and he's like drinking from water, and there's a deer drinking, and he looks at the deer and nods at the deer, and the deer nods back to him. And I said, I don't care what the rest of this show is like, I'm in for days. And that was what this episode did for me.
Yeah. I've got to admit, I wasn't the world's biggest fan of Series 5 of Rick and Morty. There was like maybe 2 episodes that I genuinely enjoyed, and then the rest was somewhere between shit and but that one, I was like you, I wasn't down for the Namor rip-off character at all, because he's funny for all of about 2 minutes, and then you're like, oh, I'll get this joke now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't need any more of this. And I really wish they'd have spent more time on the wine plot. Because like you, I don't want to spoil it either, but that whole thing was just like, what am I even looking at? The writers of this show are such bastards. Such total bastards. Good Lord. My pick of the fortnight, Barry, is yet another Apple TV show. I didn't think I'd become a corporate shill for Apple TV, but
sell out.
I know, I'm such a sellout. But they've released a TV show called Severance. Have you seen any of this at all?
No, I've only seen a trailer.
Okay, well, Severance is a sort of sci-fi thriller type show. It's created by a guy called Dan Erickson, who I've never heard of, but it's directed by Ben Stiller and Aoife McArdle. And it's basically about a company comes up with a procedure whereby, whilst you are in a particular bit of their building, you don't remember anything about your outside life. And as soon as you leave that bit of that building, you don't remember anything about your work life within the building. So the idea is that they're doing such super top secret work that even they can't know what they're doing. And so this procedure is called severance, and it basically separates you into basically 2 people, because the person in the office is always in the office. They don't remember their outside life at all. And the person in the outside only knows their outside life. It's very weird.
I think I watched the trailer for it, but it didn't. Your description's making more sense, I think, than the trailer.
Yeah. Well, I think the trailer was trying, because I remember that trailer, and I think it was trying so hard to lean on the mystery that it didn't really give you anything to get your teeth into. So
Yeah.
you're sort of like, well, it's just Adam Scott looking a bit confused. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to say any more about it because all of the stuff I've just said is like the first half of the first episode, so it's not like I've like massively spoiled. I think there's been 5 or 6 episodes out now, but I've found it super, like, you know, when you watch something and you're just like so confused, but you're also so intrigued that you just like, give me the rest of it. I want it now. Give it me. And it's one of them. Like, I'm desperate to know what happens next. like proper chomping at the bit. And it's full of amazing people. Like, Adam Scott is great. Britt Lower is in it, and she's wonderful as well. Christopher Walken's in it. He's also splendid. Like, you know, he's always good value, isn't he? But it's just, yeah, it's one of those shows that's like it's like mysterious, but without being like totally bamboozling that you don't even care. Like, it's like feeding you enough to just keep you like ravenous for the next bit. The only thing I'm wondering about is whether they're going to get a series 2 or not, because this feels to me like a story that will have an end, and it wouldn't make sense to stretch it. So I'm like, if in their heads they're like, right, this is a 3-season thing, and then they get 3 seasons, that'd be great. But like, if it's a one season thing but then they get renewed, I'll be very confused.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I love it, absolutely love it. It's one of the best things I've watched on TV this year, I think, so far.
I've heard a few people have said to Sue about it, so I might give it a look-see.
Yeah, it's I find it very intriguing and a little bit unsettling, because you're kind of like, what are they doing in this office though?
To be fair, if there's one thing the trailer did give me the vibe was that it just looked a bit unsettling.
Yeah, it definitely is. But yeah, I'd definitely recommend it to anybody who's even vaguely interested in sort of mystery sci-fi whatnottery.
Cool.
Okay. I did a thumbs up. You couldn't see it. Have we got time for a musical musing, or do you want to?
We can squeeze in some musical musings.
Oh, go on then. Barry.
In my head, when you did that, you spun in your chair and then did 2 fingers at your orange walls, like Barry.
Oh, do you know what? I might have done if I hadn't just fallen off a chair yesterday and broken it spectacularly and really hurt myself. So, good point. But I did point at the screen with both of my hands, like doing a little sort of, yeah. you can't see any of this. No one knows it's true, but it's happening.
I can see it. It's happening. It's live. We're doing this right now.
Barry, what's in your ears? Not right now, that's me, but you know.
Yeah. What's in my ears? Yeah. So, I don't know if it was this week they dropped it or if it was last week, but they dropped the trailer for the Disney limited series Obi-Wan.
Oh, okay. Do you know what? I haven't watched that yet. I probably should.
Yeah, looks good. And I'm quite glad that it's a limited series. I'm starting to get a little bit into limited series rather than just running something into the ground.
Yeah.
CW shows, take note.
They never will.
No, they never will. When that almighty dollar keeps on a rolling. So for some reason, I think because I'd been watching the Obi-Wan trailer and like repeat or whatever, some clips from Revenge of the Sith popped up in my YouTube.
Oh.
And I found myself rewatching the kind of final battle between him and Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I'm not gonna turn this into like a bashing the new trilogy thing, so I'm not gonna turn it to. But I remember seeing this fight the first time in the cinema, and even though I did feel like it maybe went on a little bit longer than it needed to, or no, that's not true. I think maybe what happened was it started to turn into a little bit video gamey.
Yeah.
Some of the things they were doing. Actually, I think the length of the fight was fine. And then I got more invested in the Yoda and Palpatine fight, which was like a proper throwdown. But what I liked about this one was the opening. One was the music, which I'm going to come on to, but the opening sort of fight sequence, I think it's only about 30 seconds between them, is just it's just amazing. For me, it's just amazing because you just got two Jedis at the height of their powers. And also Anakin proper's going for it and wants to kill Obi-Wan, and to me it's almost like that thing of, you know, the bloke, a young guy started on you and you're like, yeah, what are you gonna do? And then he starts on you, you think, oh shit, I'm in trouble. You know? And you watch the start of that fight, and I think Obi-Wan dropped some really cool line. He was like, only a Sith deals in absolutes, and he pulls out his lightsaber. I would do what I must. And then Anakin goes, you will try, and he does a backflip and he's like straight on him, and you can almost see Obi-Wan's like, oh fuck. Like,
why?
Why did I do this? Yeah, he's just going backwards. You just see him go, oh shit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Oh shit. And I always loved that sequence. Anyway, my pick is called Battle of the Heroes.
Okay.
It's obviously it's a John Williams blast, and if you've never heard it in its own right, because maybe you didn't like the film or whatever, I suggest you get your ears wrapped around that lightsaber, because it's a corker. It's up there with Duel of the Fates, and I think one of the things they do in that sequence is it goes from, I don't think this piece of music does it, but in the film it goes from Battle of the Heroes through to Duel of the Fates, and it's a wicked composition musically.
Yeah, nice. I love a bit of John Williams. You can't go wrong, can you?
You can't go wrong with a bit of JW.
Yeah, my musical musing for this. I was going to say for this week, as though we've ever done a weekly show. We can't even stick to fortnightly. Hey, you know how I'm always banging on about Escaflowne and how great it is?
Yes.
And how I'm always banging on about the soundtracks, but then I'm really sad because they're not on Spotify.
Yep.
They appeared on Spotify this week.
Ooh.
On Spotify, and I did a little dance because I was so happy. Hey, I mean, if I could musical musings for whole albums, I would. But as it stands, I've got to pick one song. So I picked a track. It's called Blaze, and it's by Yoko Kanno. And it's one of those pieces of music. Yoko Kanno's amazing. She's like one of these composers who's like, what do you need? And people are like, I don't know, jazz. And she's like, all right. And then here's some like fucking perfect jazz. And so like with Escaflowne, they clearly said to her, right, this is sort of medieval times, but also with robots. And she's gone, I've got your assignment. Don't you worry about it, lads. And gone like full bonkers, orchestra, choir, just amazing nonsense. So this song Blaze is one of those ones that I think you've said in the past, Barry, that you're a fan of, that sort of like builds up and it starts off a little bit quiet and a bit menacing and a bit don't know what's going to happen, and then it like builds up layer on layer, and then you just start panicking because you're like, something terrible's about to go down and I can sense it. And then it like kicks in and a choir's like, whoa, and you just like lose your mind. Like, it's so good. Because I'd recommend all of the albums, but if you only listen to one track, listen to Blaze because it's rad.
No, I'm all about the choir.
Yeah, I love it when I get like, I don't think enough soundtracks like rock a choir these days. She says as though she's like 1,000 years old, and like, you know, I'm only 37. Calm down. I'm not even that yet. I'm 36. Don't know how old I am. Yeah, no, it's like the Escaflowne soundtracks are like some of the best soundtracky stuff, and I'm so glad they're on Spotify. I'm going to absolutely murder them on Spotify over the next couple of weeks. But it's good because it also means that I can put them on the old Stace and Barry playlist if anybody wants to have a little listen. So, you know, nice. Thumbs up.
Nice. Cool.
I think we're done. I think we did a whole episode.
We did a whole episode.
Nobody fell off a chair.
Yeah.
And everything was fine. and
I'm only 3 minutes over. Well,
nice.
Probably a little bit more than that actually. But there we go.
Won't tell anyone. Fine. Yes, it's fine. Hey everybody, if you want to get in touch with us, do a little tweet at Geek Syndicate and at Stacey's Parlour, or send us an email to staceandbarry@gmail.com. And if you've got any money spare, not a lot of people have right now, fully understand. But if you have and you want to throw it at a charity, throw it at justgiving.com/bookwormstace22, because I'm raising funds for the Brummie NHS by reading lots and lots of books. That's what I'm going to do as soon as we finish this call. Let's get my face in a book. We love you, everybody. Stay safe and, rad. I'm running out of steam. Help me, Barry.
Okay. I was doing a whole steam engine vibe, which worked poorly. Chose poorly. So thanks everyone for sticking with us and listening to another episode of Stace and Barry in the Morning, and we will see you bright and early in, I was going to say in 2 weeks time, but let's be honest, we'll just see when we see you, because you just don't know when we're coming next. We're like ninjas, we just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah. Audio ninjas that just slip into your ears in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Or something a bit less creepy.
Yeah, or dodgy. Or dodge. Cool. Later.
Bye, everyone. Mwah, mwah, mwah.